You see? You and your stupid minds. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Hello again, everyone. This is Erik Sprowls, and welcome to The Pirate's Booty, the official after show of Dead and Buried Treasures. And I am the series creator of the show, and I also play Captain Calico Drake, I do. And every time we have a new episode, we premiere our after show, and we take your booty calls for up to an hour. Phone lines are open at 412-691-3803. That's 412-691-3803. And no sooner do I say that than I'm looking at them filling up fast. And we have the trifecta. Yep, there it is. They're filled. How about that? I know, right? That filled up fast. Damn. And that's 10 in the queue right there, right? Well, we won't pussyfoot around tonight. We're going to take your calls, as always. Tonight's show is brought to you by Redbubble.com, where you can get your official Dead and Buried Treasures merch. When did they start calling it like merch instead of merchandise? Oh, okay. So it's just merch. Yeah, I got to get hip with this generation, right? You know, I don't want to seem like an old guy and call it merchandise, heaven forbid. And we're also brought to you by Phoenix Comics and Toys, the home of the Dead and Buried Treasures fan club, where now they are releasing a third decoder statue. We call it variant number 3, the Patriotic Pirate Decoder, featuring yours truly, dressed like Uncle Sam. And you can get yours now and through the month of July, with the summer holidays coming up, Memorial Day and the 4th of July. And it's a sharp looking statue, complete with American flag, top hat, me looking like Uncle Sam. And those are our sponsors for tonight. And we just finished watching Plan 9 from Outer Space. That was the first time I saw that. Oh yeah, when I put this together? Yeah, that was the first time. I know it was billed as the worst movie ever made, and it's hard for me to say that it was, because it was really kind of it was pretty bad, I guess. I mean, it had vampire. Bela Lugosi was in it. The screen time I counted probably 10 minutes tops. I mean, he died before he died during the movie while it was being made, obviously, but I bet we only saw him for what, 5-10 minutes? What? Yeah, good for him, right? But being a college professor for so long and for so many years, I've seen a lot worse. Now, I guess as far as big budgets, and I guess $60,000 to make this movie back in the day was a big budget, but I can't say I've seen worse. The one for me that was over the top was the fact that, when you run through the graveyard, somebody's knocking over tombstones that are clearly made of styrofoam, or in the airplane cockpit, you can tell they're sitting on cereal boxes and just using shower curtains to separate the cockpit from the rest of the plane. I mean, it's pretty bad. But other than that, we kind of went with the slogan for this episode that it made all the cut-in segments that we do aboard our ship, the Swashbuckler's Haunt, it made those look good. I mean, that's just the way I kind of took it. But anyway, again, welcome to the show. We'll be here up for about another 55 minutes, up till about an hour, if the calls continue that long. And we'll answer some of your questions that you've had about tonight's show. And the Swashbuckler's Haunt, the series in general, and anything we can do. In fact, let's get to our first call. We got a full queue, right? That's what I'm seeing. Yeah, I like that. Otherwise, I have to sit here and do my finger puppets. Right? No one can even see that, right? So, what do we got? What do we got, Phil? Oh, okay. All right. So let's get right to the phone calls, shall we? This first call is from Augusta, Maine, and you are on the Pirate's Booty. What can we do for you tonight?
Hi, Captain Drake.
Hello there.
Big time fan of horror host movies. I go all the way back to into Chili Billy era. And a little before that, with Vampirella, when I moved to the West Coast, so I got a chance to see Vampira on her TV when she was doing Plan 9 from Outer Space simultaneously.
Oh.
Thank you for not forgetting about her in this movie. It was so much fun reminiscing.
Oh, it really was. And you saw her live when she did her horror hosting in the 50s. That's amazing. You know, something about Vampira that I thought was just amazing was I was just looking at her waist. I bet her waist is only, I bet she's got like dimensions of like, I don't know, like 32, 9, 36. I mean, her waist is so crazily small, but that's really impressive. You get to see her live. Good for you. I'm so glad that I wish I would have gotten the chance. You know, I think if I do a Google search or a YouTube search, I could see some of her horror hosting back in the day. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, and that's really amazing because she was doing a horror host show back in the 50s while she was shooting this, and that's not something that is to be taken for granted. I mean, I host these horror movies, and this is a gigantic pain sometimes. You know, of course, I do it a little differently when you're also the writer, the editor, the director, the actor. She had a crew, but wow, that's really cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirate's Booty. We will be taking your booty calls for another 50 minutes or so. We have a call from Hindman, Kentucky. Is that correct? Hindman, Kentucky? Yes, Hindman, Kentucky. Good evening. You're on the air with the Pirate's Booty.
Hello, Captain. I love your show.
Thank you.
And what I love about it the most is the quality of the end result. It looks so good. I mean, it's leaps and bounds above the other horror host shows I've seen in my past.
Oh, well, thank you very much. We strive to keep the quality of the show up. That's the one thing I hear more than any other when people say, "Oh, I watch horror host shows in other venues." That yours looks really nice with the green screen and the quality of the audio and the lighting and even the writing. I take a lot of care in putting it together. Thank you. Those are really kind words. It doesn't go unappreciated. I've
got to say, it's so good that if you don't win horror host of the year this year, you've truly been robbed.
Well, you know what? I hope the committee agrees with that. And for those of you who are just joining the show and don't know what our caller is talking about, the Rondo Awards are coming up, and we have been nominated for Horror Host of the Year, and the balloting stops on April 25th, which I do believe is this Sunday. Is that true? Yes, Sunday. So it stops on Sunday. That is something that we want everybody out there, if they can, please, we could use your vote. It's a popularity contest. I wish it was involving the quality and the writing and the like they had a judging panel, but it's based on popularity. So if you'd like to vote for Calico Drake or Dead and Buried Treasures, please do by dropping an email to TARACO, that's Taraco at AOL.com, and just tell them that you'd like to see us win Horror Host of the Year. So thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words, and hopefully the committee will render its decision. And but you know, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really expect to win Horror Host of the Year. Sven Gooley's got a national show, and since it's a popularity contest, it's, you know, I expect him to get a ton of votes. But thanks again. That's what makes our show award-winning.
I love the animatronics you do with Jack and Davy Bones. And now you have the Scallywag character on there with the puppy.
Oh, yeah.
My wife about Peter Pan to the end whenever the dog said my poop.
I know, and that just kind of came to me too. When he's like, my poop. I appreciate that. It's always nice to get a compliment on the writing. Sometimes it takes longer to write a show than to actually put it together. So I have to sit there and think, what am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? You know, so I appreciate that. The dialogue is something that I take a lot of pride in. Thank you.
And what I like about your show is the writing.
Yep.
It's a fun family show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a highbrow comedy.
It is. I have a lot of fun trying to make people laugh. It's like a creative release when I get to write and do the show and bring the words that I have on paper and the computer screen and bring it to life. So I have a lot of fun with that. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirates Booty. We'll be taking your booty calls for another, 45 minutes or so. And we go to, here we go, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We have a call from Pittsburgh. Go ahead. You're on with the Pirates Booty.
Hi, Calico.
Hi there.
Another great show tonight.
Thank you.
My kids nagged me to stay up late to see how things turned out with that dog. Thank you for creating such a fun character that the kids love. We watched the pre-show and saw you doing the voices and the talent.
That's doing the voices for these characters. Pardon me. Is I don't know how I do it. You know, it's just whether I'm doing Jack or Davy Bones or the villains. You know, I have a lot of fun doing it, and that's it's just another part of the entertainment field, and I just have fun doing it, and it's nice that somebody recognizes it. I'm glad you watched the pre-show. We had a lot of fun doing that segment.
Rich was right when he called you the Mel Blanc of the show. How you do these voices is just amazing.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I'll take that as a big, big compliment. And for those of you out there who don't know who Mel Blanc is, Mel Blanc, cartoons, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Pepe Le Pew, and he did literally hundreds and hundreds of voices for all of the characters for Warner Brothers. So I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you for the kind words. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirates Booty. The phone lines are semi-open right now. We have some calls. It is late at night. I don't have a watch in front of me, but I know it's got to be late. What time is it? Is it after 3? I couldn't tell you what time it is because this is like my second wind. I'm not even kidding. That's what the coffee's for. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what the coffee's for. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, I'm used to this. So yeah, we have some calls in the queue. So give us a buzz, let us know. We just watched the end of Plan 9 from Outer Space in tonight's show. And we are taking your questions, comments, and queries regarding the show, the movie, what's in the store, that kind of thing, for another up to an hour. So what is that, 45 minutes more? I love to talk to the fans, so please give us a call, 412-691-3803, the Pirates Booty. Our next call tonight is coming from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. What's going on in Carlisle tonight?
Ahoy, Captain.
Ahoy.
I gotta say, once again, what a great show tonight.
Thank you very much.
I actually laughed out loud at the very end when the dog said, "My poop." Oh my God.
You know, we just talked about that, and sometimes, you know, I had one of my crew said they laughed so hard at that line too because it just kind of comes out of nowhere. They said, I got to put that on a T-shirt with Scallywag's picture. I said, I don't think I'm going to do that, but I'm glad that the writing went over for you tonight. It went over for the crew here in the studio as well. Thanks again.
I gotta say, you're a very talented writer, and it definitely shows with the amazing broadcasting that you're doing.
Thank you.
This is definitely one of the best hosting horror movie shows out there. I gotta tell you, I like it more than Spanguli. I've seen a couple of his shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I definitely like yours a lot better than his.
Well, make sure you vote in the Radio Awards. The voting only goes on for another 24 hours, and we could use the votes, no doubt.
clear, this is, like I said, this is much better. But I have to ask, I really have to ask, before I start to talk to you about your ship's extended warranty. But anyways, I have to ask you, what inspired you to do the Batman parody?
The Batman parody, the Batman. Tonight. I was a big fan of. I'm still a big fan of Batman, and I'm so happy. I just got to say this as an aside, that Michael Keaton. I'm so happy that Michael Keaton is coming back to don the bat suit. I hope it's more than just a cameo. I hope he gets to be Batman, and I hope they use the old costume. That was my favorite costume, the '89 costume, even the '92 costume. Was my favorite. I did not like it when they went to these giant, like, Ben Affleck, Hulk, tank costumes, or the ones that Christian Bale used for realism. I like the old slick Batman in '89 and '92. I didn't care for the one in '95 or '97 with the nipples and the neon lights and stuff like that. I really liked the old one with Michael Keaton, and he was good at acting with his eyes, so I'm kind of glad that's back. But what inspired me to do it was I was a big fan of Adam West. It's no secret that I met Adam West and Burt Ward, and I'm a big supporter of Burt Ward's business, actually. He makes dog food. I don't know if he's retired. I guess he's retired from acting, and he kind of focuses on his animals and his dogs. And I think it's called Gentle Giant, and I love that. I love the old show. I bought the whole series on DVD when it came out. I waited for that moment. In fact, before that movie came out, or before the series came out, I bought the bootleg copy. And I didn't grow up with it. That was a little bit before my time. I was like a wee toddler when Batman was on the air with Adam West. And that was in the late 60s. But that shows you how old I am, but it also shows you how experienced I am as a pirate. But it inspired me because I just like the scene. And I think everybody, if you think of the old Batman TV series, and that was actually a scene that I paid homage to from the Batman movie. Not the series so much, but the movie, when he's running along the dock and he has that big round bomb and he can't get rid of it because there's always people in his way. And in fact, I used the band Bringing in the Sheaves song from that particular episode to pay even further homage to the scene. So thank you. I'm glad you recognized it. I had a lot of fun with that.
All right. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I appreciate you telling me that.
Sure.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. Hey, thanks again. I appreciate the call from Carlisle, PA. That's right here in the state. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirates Booty. And we'll be taking your booty calls for another 35 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. I don't know. I can't see the clock in there. Don't bother to tell me. I got, Phil's in the studio here as the engineer. Don't bother to tell me what time it is. Yeah, right. Okay, that's fine. All right, and we'll be taking your calls for another 45 minutes or so. Of course, I said that like 10 minutes ago. Where you been? And, okay, that's fine. That's my salute to Batman. So we will be taking your calls for another, 45 minutes or so. We'll be back right after this.
The summer holidays are here, and it's time to celebrate them like a true American pirate. Presenting the limited edition Red, White, and Boo Captain Calico Drake Patriotic Decoder. After all, I am a true American hero. It's our Stars and Scars edition from Phoenix Comics and Toys. Star-spangled from top to bottom, Captain Drake celebrates Memorial Day and the 4th of July like none other, and it's an exclusive only found here at Phoenix Comics and Toys, the home of our fan club. This is variant number 3 in the series, and it comes with a star-spangled red, white, and blue paint job, a removable American flag, me first officer Jack launching fireworks at the base, and a true salute to Uncle Sam, complete with beard and a new top hat design. Plus, our limited edition patriotic decoder also comes with a unique red, white, and blue doubloon. Say that 3 times really fast, mateys. And it's exclusive to making me, of course, a true American hero. But you'll need to order quickly, as this limited edition patriotic decoder will only be available until the end of July. Plus, if you're already a fan club member, you'll get another 20% off. I guess you could call it the United Drake of decoders. So search for Phoenix Comics and Toys in Facebook and Etsy for this Scars and Stars Captain Calico Drake Patriotic Decoder and order today.
Get your Dead and Buried Treasures merchandise at redbubble.com with the search words Dead and Buried Treasures. T-shirts, travel mugs, hoodies, blankets, phone cases, and much, much more. You too can even take a shower with Captain Calico Drake with a shower curtain.
This is ridiculous. How is this even possible?
That's redbubble.com and use the search words Dead and Buried Treasures. So what are you waiting for? You too can be as cool as a pirate.
Yes, of course.
That's redbubble.com and search for Dead and Buried Treasures. Redbubble.com.
That I thought I would dabble in the art world myself.
That's redbubble.com and search for Dead and Buried Treasures.
They'll no doubt want to pay top dollar for me service.
Phoenix Comics and Toys has done it again.
My decoder's here!
Yar, me hearties! The Dead and Buried Treasure Fan Club is now accepting new crew.
Wow, ours is better than H7.
Each fan club kit contains one decoder statue with a secret compartment containing your doubloon, one autographed photo of the Captain and Jack, and one welcoming letter. Yar!
My gold doubloon!
Decode each episode's code for a chance to win prizes. Yar! Set sails to Etsy and Facebook to order yours today. Yar!
Buster, your brother needs to use the bathroom.
I'll be right out, Dad!
Lovers.
And welcome back to WDBT Radio, the Pirate Convention, the official after show of Dead and Buried Treasures. We just got done watching Plan 9 from Outer Space, and I want to say, since we just saw the commercial, that those decoders look sharp, don't they? Variant number 3. Oh yeah, that looks slick. You can even tell that they used, I talked to Rob Fleck over there at Phoenix Comics and Toys, and he's used the sparkle paint in the jacket. So it's blue, but it's also shiny and sparkly. Oh yeah, they look really good. I remember he was telling me he was searching for the American flag. It looks so good. I'm just complimented left and right by how well those statues look. And this one has the fireworks at the base, you know, Jack with the fireworks. And the flag and the beard and the top hat for Uncle Sam. It really looks nice. And the variant number 2 was the Santa Drake statue that you can no longer get because it's not Christmas. You just can't get it. And of course, the original is me in the pirate outfit. I like that one too. But I like how we're releasing these one a year. So what was that? 2019 was the original Pirate. 2020 was the Christmas one, Santa Drake. And then we have thought back and forth, we went back and forth, what are we going to call this one? And we were calling it somebody said the United Drake of Decoders. They said, what inspired us to make it was Apollo Creed from Rocky 3. Is that right? Yeah, that's the one he gets killed in. And he's dancing and he's singing. I said, I can't do any of that because he's got some footwork that's just amazing. But I wanted to have something kind of flashy because of the 4th of July holiday. And boy, Rob did a good job over there, didn't he? Oh, yeah. That's just amazing he did with those decoders. So they're only available from now until I think the end of July. So, and it's a collectible that'll be a limited edition, just like the Santa Drake. So rush out and get it. And if you're a fan club member, you get 20% off. What else do you want? And if you and if you're not, you can get it. If you want to become members of the fan club, that's a statue you'll get. Or you can have the original. It's up to you. So there you go. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirates Booty. And we'll be taking your booty calls here for another 35 minutes. And now our next call is coming from... Where's this coming from? Yeah, where's it coming from? What was the last one? Carlisle? Right. Oh, okay. This one's coming from Bethel Park. So they must have watched it on BPTV. All right. So our next call is coming from Bethel Park. Bethel Park. How's it going in Bethel Park tonight?
Hey, Captain Drake. Thanks for taking my call.
Anytime.
Boy, I got to tell you, I love your show.
Thank you.
I'm usually a night owl on the weekends.
Yeah, me too.
I always look for an old movie late at night. And I'm so glad I found your show.
Thank you.
Even the reruns. I really love your choice in movies.
Well, you know, we have some good ones coming up, too. Everybody keeps asking me, what are the movies we're going to be coming up with? And we're doing Destroy All Planets. We're going to be doing The Man in the Attic. We're going to be doing... it started out as a joke, but I found out Return to Gilligan's Island is public domain now. And I don't think anybody realizes they did a movie where they get off the island. And only the true pop culture people, I think, remember that. So that's another one we're going to be hosting. So thank you. We have a lot of fun with the movies we choose.
Because the movies are older and they're kind of horrible, well, based on today's standards anyway.
Based on any standards. We just watched Plan 9, remember?
I'm not sure I've seen Plan 9 from Outer Space or Vincent Price or Barbara Steele movies in the last 20 years on regular television.
Yeah, I haven't. I can tell you right now, when I was doing this, I just told my engineer here in the studio that I had never seen Plan 9 from Outer Space. And it's not because it's my choice, it's because I've never seen it on television. And I hadn't seen a Barbara Steele movie on television in, oh my God, since I think I ran it in college at the college TV station when I went to college 20 years ago. And that's only because we ran it at the TV station. I haven't seen a good Vincent Price film in a long time. I tell you what, I did see Abbott and Costello back at Halloween. They ran Abbott and Costello Meet the Monsters. Meet Frankenstein, you know, the Wolfman, and Dracula. I did see that. They aired that on like Turner Classic Movies or something like that. But I haven't seen Plan 9 or some of the ones we show, so it's kind of like... not really an exclusive, but like nobody watches these anymore, so they're almost forgotten, and we have the privilege of showing them again.
I wonder why. Hey, how do you choose your movies anyway?
Well, they have to be public domain, and that way no one can lay claim to them or ownership, and we don't get sued for using someone else's material. So we do a very thorough check on that. There's not a real... I wish there was a phone you could call or somebody says, hey, is this public domain? And somebody gives you a definitive yes. So there is nothing like that. So what we do is we find 3 sources that confirm that it's public domain. And I'm not talking about Google. I'm talking about businesses that specialize in selling public domain films. And they're out there. And if they say it's public domain and they sell it for broadcast purposes, then that's how we air it. And that's how we utilize it on the show. But of course, we want to have ones that pertain to the subject matter of what we do. So we want to air like old monster movies or old science fiction or something good too. Sometimes we'll luck into some classics like Vincent Price, Abbott and Costello, you know, things like that. And we can get a movie that is good and that is public domain. And we have some coming up that are some good ones, and we have some that aren't so good, and that's just the luck of the draw. Some of these I've never seen. Like the next episode we're going to have, it's called Man in the Attic, and it's about, it takes place in the 1800s, and there's a boarding house run by, believe it or not, Aunt Bee from Andy Griffith. I've never seen her in anything else other than Aunt Bee, you know, and she runs a boarding house, and she takes on a tenant that she soon suspects that he might be Jack the Ripper. And so she's kind of playing detective and figuring it out and trying to see if that's who it is. And it was kind of an interesting film because Jack Palance, if you're a fan of the Batman movies that came up about 20 minutes ago, was the Joker's boss in Batman '89 and was also Curly in the City Slicker movies, and he had a big career in the movies long before that. He won an Oscar for Curly in 1991 for City Slickers. But he plays the gentleman that you don't know if he's Jack the Ripper or not, and it's a good movie. Some of these public domain movies, simply because they are not copyrighted, doesn't mean that they're bad. Sometimes they're just not copyrighted because Hollywood didn't know any better back in the day and the copyrights just run out. For example, the one I like to use the example of always is Night of the Living Dead. It's the grandfather of all zombie movies, and everybody forgets about it. You know, the copyright, that is. It's a classic movie. It's spawned a whole franchise with the Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead and Land of the Dead and Diary of the Dead, and then remakes of all of that, and it's created almost $1 billion franchise, you know, and it all started right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And the copyright ran out because they originally, I think, if I'm not mistaken, now don't hold me to this, they released it under a different title, and I want to say it was called Flesh Eaters, Night of the Flesh Eaters, or something like that. And they changed the name at the last second to Night of the Living Dead, forgot to put the copyright logo on there, and that's how it became copyright-free, public domain. Like in tonight's, Plan 9 from Outer Space was originally called Grave Robbers from Outer Space. I think it was released in 1957, but then they changed the title and released it in 1959, called it Plan 9 from Outer Space, forgot the copyright emblem, and that's how it became public domain. So what we do is we have a screening process. We have to find a few companies that specialize in selling public domain movies for broadcast purposes, and if I find 3, then it's considered public domain. So that's how we decide what movies we are. It goes by the stars. Like if it's Vincent Price, I like Vincent Price a lot. A lot of his films are public domain. I'm surprised. Only 2 Abbott and Costello movies are public domain. Did you know that? Oh, did you? Yeah, 2. Jack and the Beanstalk and the one we did when Abbott and Costello meet King Kong. But that's exactly what it's good. That's exactly what happens. But they couldn't use the name King Kong because obviously it was copyrighted by Universal. But so they call it the gargantuan or something like that, the ape or something that they go after, but it's supposed to be King Kong, you know. So that's how we do it. That's my rather long-winded answer, and I'm sticking to it. WDBT Radio, Plan 9 from Outer Space just ended, and we are taking your calls, fans calling in, watchers, viewers, that kind of thing. Our next call comes from Sacramento, California. They must have been watching tonight on Facebook. So how are things tonight in Sacramento? Are they there?
Hi, Captain.
Hello there. How are you?
I really like the dog on your show.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm sure that Scallywag would like you too.
Will he be back soon?
Will he be back soon? Yeah, we're going to have Scallywag as a regular on the show. And I have a lot of fun with Scallywag. Did you enjoy him? Are you there? Is the call there? Yeah, Scallywag is going to be a regular on the show. I'm glad you liked him.
Okay, I have to go. Bye.
Okay, that's adorable. That was really adorable. Yes, so to answer your call, or to answer your question, Scallywag was something we put together. We found an animated dog. I think it was the last one, too. Last year? Was it 2 years? Was it last year? This past Christmas? I think it was this past Christmas. It wasn't the Christmas before that. I think it was this past Christmas. And I said, Merry Christmas. That's cute, but it was geared toward Christmas. So if you look closely, we redesigned him and refitted him with a pirate theme. So we gave him an eye patch, a pirate hat with locks. We kept the scarf because it had a Christmas scarf, but we set the pirate hat on top of a stocking cap because he's designed to sing Christmas carols, and he does. And he tells jokes and everything. We just kind of cut that out and we do my voice instead, but that's exactly what Scallywag. I love that call. How could you not like that call? And we get calls from all ages, people. That was beautiful. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirates Booty, WDBT Radio. Thank you for the call from Sacramento. This next call is from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. I guess they must have been watching Fayette TV tonight on FCTV Channel 77 in Uniontown, Fayette County. How are things in Uniontown tonight?
Hey, enjoyed the show as always.
Sure.
Great episode tonight. I'm actually a big fan of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh.
I bought the Blu-ray a year or so ago when all this COVID stuff hit. I'm glad to see you had it on the show, and it was a pretty clean print too.
Mm-hmm. Hello? Do we lose you?
Sorry.
Hello?
Are you there?
Yes.
I dropped the phone. I'm sorry. anyway, I'm glad to see Professor Gertie's back on the show.
Yes.
She's a personal heartthrob of mine.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed she wasn't in the last couple episodes, so I'm really glad to see her back.
Yeah, we're glad to have her back, too. She's who isn't she a personal heartthrob of? She's a very striking woman. I'm glad she's on our show. When you do a show of this nature and nobody's paid, and we do it all for the love of the art as creative artists, you can't guarantee things. You know what I mean? There's no paycheck you work for. You can't hold anything over anybody's head, and we don't want to. We do it because we like to do it. We have fun doing it. If I'm doing this for the money, then I'm in the wrong business, that's for sure. And now, Professor Gertie is played by Dana Massino Kanji, and you may recognize the last name of her name, Kanji, because she's married to our producer for the pre-show, Walk the Plank, Rich Kanji. And together they have 4 kids. And, you know, when COVID hit and their worlds changed like all of us, all of our worlds changed for all of us. And different jobs came and went, and they had to do different things. It became more and more difficult to do the show. You know, we try to do about 1 a month. And last year we only did, I think, a half dozen because we were cranking them out, and all of a sudden March hit, boom, we had to shut down, everything was stopped. And we did like a couple sporadically. I think we did one in July, and I think we did one in August, maybe November, something like that. And then we had to redo things because normally we'd shoot it all in person. And so we had to do things now with green screens. Thank God for green screens, or we wouldn't be able to do the show. that's the main thing that we use to create special effects on our ship, because 100% of our show is a special effect. So I can have Rich and Dana or Professor Gertie shoot their segments of the script at their home in front of a green screen. I have to just tell them how to do it and kind of direct them from FaceTime, and then they upload it to YouTube. I download it on my end, and I can insert it like stock footage into the episode when we put it all together, and that's how we do the show now. It's difficult. So there was a point where Dana, who plays Professor Gertie, couldn't do episodes that we had written for her. So quickly I said, "Oh man, what are we gonna do? I gotta move on. I can't keep airing the same episode for 3 months, you know." So fortunately, I found Aline Isley, who plays Marabella, the mermaid, and I quickly wrote an episode with a mermaid. And then I found Diana Cousins, so I quickly wrote an episode so she could play Juliana Killigrew, my ex-wife, on the show, and you know, that comes on and kind of gives us some real comedic stuff going on to kill time until Gertie or Dana and Rich could get their lives back in order and to stall. But then it turned out that Aline Isley was so good, she's now a regular on the show, and of course Diana did a great job as the character too. And so I decided, this is interesting. Maybe I'm going to try to add some different characters. So we are going to add some different characters. We have another character we're going to be adding somewhere around July called Jasper the Caretaker, who is a undefined year-old man who I have worked with before, played by Christopher Presley. He's going to play an old man in charge of the island vault. And he's going to be, you know, pretty good. You're talking like this, but he's only like a 30-year-old guy. And then we're going to add Leah Wagenblot Haas, I believe, Haas, who is also going to join the show based on a character I had worked with her on a show called Frightening Fridays years ago. And she's going to resurrect a character she did on that show. She played a French maid. And Leah's very pretty as well. And we're going to have some characters in and out, and that way it's not so much of a burden on some. Last 20 minutes. Let's get right back to phone calls, because I don't want to lose the opportunity of talking to you guys. So this call comes from Pennsylvania. They must have been watching in Pittsburgh.
Hey, Captain. First time caller.
Nice to have you aboard.
Really happy to see the cliffhanger tonight. I'm glad you finally followed up on that from last time, the last Long Gone Silver episode you did.
Yes, thank you.
I'm really digging the new villain.
Yes.
So, when are we going to see him? When is this battle?
Well, again, it all came with like bad timing with the holidays and COVID, and I wanted a villain to be like a Joker character, like Batman has. You know, we had like a Riddler, and we had a Penguin, and we had this, and I wanted like the main villain that's just scary, that's really bad. So we introduced this new villain. We don't even know his name yet, but we keep teasing the audience by he's somehow got a cloaked ship, and he's watching Washington, Pennsylvania, was my hometown 2 years ago, and we were going to use it on the show. We ran out of time, and by the time we got around to it, the Whiskey Rebellion was long over. I said, let's just keep it until next year. So when the next year came, COVID happened. It's like, ugh. So we still have all this stuff from the Whiskey Rebellion we want to use, and so now we're chugging along with these new episodes, and we're ready to do certain things in a certain way. And somebody said to me, hey, we still got that footage from the Whiskey Rebellion. I'm like, oh my God, we have to get that inserted somehow between now and July. So we're probably going to host another movie called The Terror with a very young Jack Nicholson and Boris Karloff. And we got to squeeze that in there. So the battle's coming. We just keep teasing it, and we don't mean to keep teasing it just to tease the audience. We're doing that because we don't want to lose sight of the fact that we introduced a new character. He's a big bad guy, but we don't want to lose the footing we had with him either. So we keep showing him following our ship cloaked to feel us out, you know, for a big battle that is coming. So that's why we do it. And hopefully the battle will come soon. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirates Booty, WDBT Radio. This next call comes from Cincinnati, Ohio. I used to teach in Cincinnati. How are things in Cincinnati tonight?
Hi, Eric.
Hello.
Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
First off, I love the show.
Thank you.
I love the pre-show. I love the after show. I can't get enough of it.
Sounds like you guys make an event of it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm so glad to see that you had an episode with some comedy in it, since the last couple, Riff, House on Haunted Hill,
yes,
and Terror Creatures from the Grave were kind of mythology episodes.
Yes, we got kind of serious in the last couple episodes, you know, trying to find a way home. And when we introduced Aline Isley's character of Marabella the Mermaid, and of course the villain at the end. So we wanted to have a little bit of comedy in this episode and the last episode, and the next episode. I think there's some good comedy too. We like to do some standalones. I like to think of it as we follow in the footsteps of the X-Files, where you have mythology episodes and you have some comedy thrown in. So thank you, appreciate that.
But I really loved the Batman parody you did on the show tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Loved it. Loved it. Can you tell us more about that scene? It was hysterical.
Oh, it was hysterical to shoot as well. You know, we had to try to explain to Gertie. We only had 6 sparklers, because we shot that in the middle of the winter, so we couldn't find sparklers anywhere else. So we would have to plan it. I had to plan out when to run, when to use the sparklers, because if I lost a sparkler, now I got 5, and I just can't go out to a store and buy them. And we were shooting one weekend when I thought I had more than I did, and we only had a certain number, and I didn't want to have to order them and make it a whole thing and push the episode back. What a pain. And these sparklers that I got were super cheapo sparklers, and they lasted about 2 seconds. And then I ended up getting different sparklers after that to be certain, so I won't run out again. I got them from a fireworks company here in the Pittsburgh area. So we had a lot of fun doing it, but really the credit has to go completely to the Adam West TV show, because I wanted to do the running with the bomb and you know, and kind of parody that episode as a big fan of the Batman show. So that was something that I had planned and we had a lot of fun with. And fortunately for us, it all worked out in the end. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirates Booty. We're taking your booty calls for another 15 minutes. Again, we go to, is this another call from Carlisle? What's that? This is Carlisle, Pennsylvania? Oh, okay. Another. Here we go back to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Hello, Carlisle. How are things this evening?
Ahoy, Captain Drake.
Ahoy again.
This is Tom from Newville calling.
Hi, Tom.
I wanted to call and talk to you about extended warranty for your ship.
Well, thank you. Thank you, you know, matey, but I don't know if I need any more insurance.
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
That's all right.
I wanted to actually call and say I'm liking the watch parties for Dead and Buried Treasures.
Oh, yeah.
Glad to see that there are a lot of more people watching on Wednesdays on Facebook and on Saturdays as well. I got to watch the episode with House on Haunted Hill recently.
Right. Good episode. Good episode.
Yeah. I got to say, Captain, I feel your pain with that one. I really do. Anyways, I wasn't expecting the twist in it. It really got me, and I got to say, I really enjoyed that movie.
Good.
And I hope there's a lot more movies like that down in the island.
Oh, yeah, down the vault.
Okay. All right. Yeah, have a good night.
No, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for calling us back, Tom. Yeah, I think he's referring to he can feel my pain because I guess he has an ex-wife or something like Juliana that was kind of a pain. Diana Cousins played her to perfection on that. Yeah, the watch parties are something that we don't get a chance to talk about too much on the show, but we are on Facebook for watch parties nationally or worldwide, however far Facebook goes, on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock, a little bit earlier during the week for people to watch with an 8:30 pre-show. You can always see a pre-show before our watch party, a half hour before the watch party starts. So if it starts at 9, the pre-show's on at 8:30. Same thing with Friday and Saturday nights. We're on at midnight with our watch parties. And of course, the pre-show's on at 11:30. And then on YouTube, we've reformatted our YouTube channel so you can watch a watch party on there that's changed every Sunday. You know, you can watch the watch parties however you want to throughout the week, and then they're changed on Sundays. And then we always premiere a new episode on Sunday nights at 9 with an 8:30 pre-show. So the watch parties are a lot of fun. When there are a lot of response to that, I'm surprised how much there is. And just so people understand, too, if they watch it on Facebook, this happened just tonight. I had a couple of viewers that said, oh, and they're looking up where it says premiere in big red letters. It says, oh, there's only 3 people here watching this in the chat room. That's kind of boring, huh? So I saw that and I cut in and I said, no, that just means how many people are active in the chat room. Just in the chat room. I said, I have analytics of the show premiering, and I can tell that tonight alone, there were over 600 or 700 people watching the show, and only 3 active in a chat room. So there are a lot more people watching, and just because they're not commenting doesn't mean they're not watching, because they could be watching on their tablets, their iPhones, you know, television. So just for that clarity, I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that. So if you're watching in one of those watch parties on Facebook or on YouTube, and you only see a couple people up there where it says premiere, that's just how many people are in the chat room, not how many people are actually watching the show. So, thank you for calling in, Tom. 412-691-3803 is the number. We got about 10 more minutes of taking your calls. Here on the Pirates Booty, we are taking your booty calls for the next 10 minutes. This one comes from Buffalo, New York. Is that right? Buffalo, New York, how are you tonight?
Yes, I'm calling. Why isn't WBXZ on cable? I watch your program. I watch your movies. WBXZ is over the air, but it's not on the cable system. That's what I'd like to know.
Well,
call Spectrum. You're not on the cable.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that.
What?
Sure. I can tell you that WBXZ is our affiliate in Buffalo, New York on Channel 56. It's an affiliate of Throwback Television. That's a call that's going to have to be answered by them. I could not tell you why it's not on cable. So I will tell you this, kind sir, I will pass your phone call along to whoever can answer that kind of question. All right, I will pass that along to the powers that be. I think his name's Joe Reboy, is the station manager up there who runs things for us. And we're on Monday nights at 11:30 in Buffalo. So thank you very much for your call. I will pass that along, and maybe he can give us an answer for the next show. 412-691-3803 is the number for the Pirates Booty. We're taking your booty calls for only another 5 minutes. Is that correct? Boy, an hour goes fast, doesn't it? Yeah, it passes. Phone lines, look at that. They're still lit to the hilt. We're not even going to get to all of them. So, all right, let's get a couple more. We'll squeeze a couple more in before we head out. This next call is coming from Los Angeles, California. How are you tonight?
Hi, this is Alicia Cataline, Alicia, Mistress of the Undead on Facebook, or Alicia, the Baby Girl Vampire Group.
Oh, okay.
I'm just calling to say that I love your show. I love pirates. I'm watching the Scrooge movie, and it's very enjoyable. I love your green screen, all your special effects.
Thank you.
And I love your voice and your laugh, and I love your parrot. It's so cute.
Thank you.
And also, I'm a horror hostess, so if you need someone else, you can let me know.
Oh, okay. I will.
An actress. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Also, I think you should advertise on the radio and on TV and the internet. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for your call, Alicia, Mistress of the Undead, I guess.
Arg.
Arr.
This is Alicia, Mistress of the Undead.
Ah, well, it was nice to talk to you, Mistress of the Undead. Alicia, thank you for the kind words. We can always do a combination horror host show. I saved that call. We'll see what her show's like, and we'll see if we can't get her on the show. We're not against doing that either. For fans of the show who have seen us in the past, when we hosted Night of the Living Dead as our Halloween special, we had several horror hosts on that show as a crossover. I had the idea to do that because at that time, I think I'm always big on the CW shows like The Flash and Supergirl and Green Arrow and that kind of stuff, and they guest star on each other's shows. So when we did the Halloween show, I had the Spooky Spectre from Fright Night Theater on the show, also Jack Shadow from Chiller Night Theater, and I had Sluggo, who was the president of the Vortex, on the show, and we had some fun with that. So I'm not opposed to that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for the offer, Alicia, and thank you for calling in. Los Angeles, I guess she watched it tonight on Facebook, right? Yeah, I tell you what, the world is a much smaller place with Facebook, isn't it? Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, 412-691-3803 is the number. We're almost out of time, so I think we're going to take... Can we do one more call? One more? Okay. We're going to take one more call. This one is from Suffolk, Virginia. Suffolk? Is that Suffolk, I guess they call it? Suffolk, Virginia. How are things tonight in Suffolk, Virginia?
Hi, Captain.
Good evening.
John Caller. I'm really glad to see the cliffhanger tonight. I'm glad you finally followed up on that from Long John Silver's episode.
Oh, yes.
I'm really digging the new villain.
Well, the battle, I tell you what, we've had a lot of positivity toward the new villain idea, the new concept. So that's good. I'm happy about that. So hopefully things will work out. I'm planning on keeping him around to be a pain for a while. Kind of like Q on the old Star Trek show, The Next Generation, where he would pop up every once in a while and be a thorn in Picard's side. Or even older than that as far as Star Trek, Harry Mudd would pop up once or twice. And Captain Kirk's past, you know. Or I'm thinking, actually a better description would be like Khan, you know, a really good villain. And that's what I think the show needed. So he will be back, he will be around, and we will have him here for you on the show. And I think that pretty much does it for the Pirates Booty this week. That was a full hour of taking your questions and booty calls. We appreciate all of our calls we got tonight. If you weren't able to get on the show, please leave a voicemail. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Or if you want to write us a question, we'll take your Facebook questions and comments on our pre-show Walk the Plank. We always do that prior to the next new show. Our next new movie will be Man in the Attic. In another month or so. I know it's going to be dicey for me. I'm not sure how May is going to treat me because I have to do I have to go on a trip toward the end of May, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm hoping to get on in May. If not, it'll be on in early June at the latest. But we'll see. Thank you again for all your calls tonight. I'm so glad that the support on the show is big and it's well received and welcomed. And I love all the fans. It's a lot of fun putting these shows together, and we will do it again. Absolutely. So keep it up. Keep watching. The show that we've done so far has been so much fun. Thanks again. We will see you next month on the Pirates Booty, where we take your booty calls and questions after a new episode airs. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you next month. Stay tuned for more Dead and Buried Treasures, and you can always catch us in reruns. It's a lot of fun, where it's Halloween all year long. And you know why? It's It's a pirate's life for me. Take care, everyone. Good night.